going to go over creating an index for our large chapter book, our 160 plus page book. Right now I have open my index that I created, and notice I have my book panel open. I also have the index panel open over here, and to get that, you just go up to Window and go down to Type and Tables, and you'll notice that there's an index feature right here. You just click on that and your index panel comes up. Today we're just going to be doing a very simple index, okay? We're going to be putting in about 10 references and we'll be inserting it. We don't want to go too in depth into this, okay? Because again, we're just keeping it very, very simple. This is just an overview of it, and it will give you an idea of how to use it. So I have my index panel open. Make sure you also have your book panel open. You'll notice I have all of my documents actually open up top as well. I'm going to go through and kind of reference certain words and figure out which words I want to include in my index, so I have those open up there. In the index panel, you're going to want to make sure though that you have this option right here selected. So include entries from the current book. Notice when I select that, all of my the alphabet comes up for that. You'll notice down here, I also have my Indesign book that it's grabbing everything from. Okay, so to start inserting my entries, I can go to any one of my chapters and grab some text. Again, I don't have any rhyme or reason for this one. Again, it's just an exercise to be able to find some of these things and show you how to lay out an index. Okay, so I have my words selected here. I'll do God, and I'm going to go down to my add style or add reference. Okay, so I have the topic level, and again, I'm keeping it simple, so I'm not adding in multiple levels here. We're going to add this one. We're going to make sure that it's set to current page, and I'm going to go add all, and I'm going to hit done. There was one that came up quite a bit when I did this before, and so you'll be able to see. I just want to show you how it goes through every document. Okay, so I have man selected. I'm going to go through and create a new reference. I have man, add all, and you'll see that it's going to be referenced multiple times throughout my book, so it takes a bit. And so it starts referencing the numbers, the page numbers in this little dialog box. Go done. Go to chapter 2. Let's do school, add, and we're just going to keep on going through and doing it like this, okay? Done. I'm just randomly finding words that I want to index. Add all. Done. Okay, and I'm just going through to each chapter and grabbing one word. Let's do England. Add all. Done. Dublin, I'm going to do too. Okay, add. Make sure add all. Done. Chapter 6. Add all. Oh, okay. Done. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my index page. Okay, you'll notice that it still keeps all of my selections over here in this index panel. Now let's generate our index, okay? So it's pretty similar to the table of contents. So down here, so it is the third from the right. Generate, and it comes up with this little dialog box again. I'm going to call this index. I want to use my table of content header that I set up for my table of contents. I also want to make sure that my include book documents is selected, and you'll notice here it comes up with the name of the book, so that's the correct one. You can go down to more options. We are not going to get into this, but if you wanted to style your index and your levels and everything like that, you would do it in this section. Okay, but we're going to leave it as is. I'm going to go OK. It's going to generate the index. Changes my cursor. I'm going to come in and select it in there. And so you'll see it's giving me a list and page numbers of all the options that I picked, all the things that I wanted to index. You also notice that I have some overset text. So I'm just going to bring that over to the next page. Okay, and I'm just going to bring this guy up a little bit so it sits onto the next page. Okay, and that's a very quick index, okay, which we will use for our book. You'll notice it gave it a level 1 index in the paragraph style. If you want, we can go in and change this. Let's say I'm going to change it to the type that I set my styles in. Okay, I can change my tabs just so it lines up a bit nicer. We'll probably have to go in and change some of them too, but so you see it's changing the first line indent. Okay. Okay, and I'm just going to press OK. So you can go in and tweak that a bit more. Tweak it till your heart's content. Again, I'm just going to leave mine like this. Notice that some of my text just changed because I changed. Hit my tab in there. Okay. And that is a quick index.